It all began with a feeling. Not a loud, dramatic moment, but something quieter. A shift in the air that you couldn't quite explain, but you knew was there. For Leticia Scott, it wasn't something that hit her all at once. It built up slowly, creeping in like a heavy fog that made everything feel off. It started with small things: a phone call he didn't return, a strange business trip that came out of nowhere, a late-night text message that didn't make sense. Most people might brush it off, maybe have one argument and move on. But Leticia didn't. She sat with that uneasy feeling, let it grow, and began to pay attention. She wasn't one to jump to conclusions. But something wasn't right, and it didn't go away. So, she decided to do something most reality TV wives never dare to do. She took action. Leticia wasn't new to gossip. Viewers of Love and Marriage, Huntsville had been whispering for years about her husband, Marsau Scott. People had questions about his business meetings, the solo trips, and his habit of giving vague answers when she asked where he'd been. The stories didn't add up. There were too many gaps, too many coincidences. But instead of confronting him with shouting or tears like she might have in the past, Leticia made a choice. This time, she wasn't going to plead for honesty. She was going to find it herself. And oh, she had a plan. According to sources close to her, Leticia reached out to someone who knew how to find the truth: an investigator. Not just any investigator, though. This person had worked with reality TV stars before and understood how to dig into things without making a scene. Leticia didn't want rumors, she wanted facts. She wasn't just suspicious anymore. She was done playing the fool while people laughed behind her back. So when Marsau said he was heading to Atlanta for a dinner meeting, Leticia didn't argue. She didn't even raise an eyebrow. She smiled, told him to have a good trip, and wished him well. Then, the next morning, she got on a plane too. But she wasn't going as his wife. She was going as a woman determined to see the truth for herself. She didn't book the same hotel. In fact, she stayed several blocks away under a fake name. She wore a wig, big sunglasses, and a hoodie to keep a low profile. Leticia was on a mission, and she wasn't alone. Word among the Love and Marriage fans is that she wasn't working solo. She teamed up with someone from the cast, someone who also had doubts about Marsau's loyalty. They went through his past travel history, looked at his Instagram stories, and even tracked location tags. It may sound intense, even a little sneaky, but Leticia had reached her limit. She wasn't doing this out of jealousy. She was doing it because she deserved answers. And then it happened. On a Friday night, at exactly 9:47 p.m., Marsau was spotted walking into a luxury hotel in Atlanta. He looked relaxed, holding his phone in one hand, and his other hand resting on the lower back of a woman dressed in black. She had dark sunglasses on, almost like she didn't want to be recognized. The way they walked together, the way they smiled, it wasn't a professional meeting. It didn't even seem like two old friends catching up. It looked intimate, comfortable, familiar. And that's when things got even more explosive. Fans immediately began to speculate about who the woman was. Some claimed it was none other than Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine. The resemblance was shocking. Online detectives went into overdrive, posting comparison photos, screenshots, and even zooming in on the woman's purse to match it with pictures Dr. Jackie had posted earlier that week. One viral post read, "Y'all really gonna act like that ain't Dr. Jackie when she wore that exact coat 2 days ago?" Leticia didn't say a word. She saw it all, but she didn't react, not publicly anyway. That silence? It wasn't weakness. It was strategy. While Marsau thought he was getting away with something, Leticia was just waiting for the right moment. When he came back home, Leticia didn't scream or demand answers. Instead, she sat him down, pulled out her phone, and pressed play. The footage said it all. For about 30 seconds, Marsau said nothing. He just stared at the screen, frozen, like someone had knocked the wind out of him. Leticia didn't yell. She didn't ask 100 questions. She just watched him. Finally, he opened his mouth and gave the oldest excuse in the book, "It's not what it looks like." Leticia almost laughed. Not because it was funny but because it was ridiculous. She had seen him guide the woman through the hotel, hand on her back like they'd done it many times before. The body language wasn't vague. It was personal. She knew what she saw. Still, Marsau tried to explain. He said the woman was someone he knew from a real estate deal, a connection through a friend. He spun a whole story about development meetings and business opportunities. Leticia let him talk. Then she asked one simple question. If it's all business, why did you lie? And that was when the blame started. Marsau's tone changed. He got defensive. Accused her of hiring someone to follow him. Said she didn't trust him enough to just talk to him first. Leticia didn't back down. I did talk to you, she replied calmly. I asked, and you lied again and again. So I stopped waiting for the truth and found it myself. That moment broke something between them. Not because of what was on the video. Leticia already had her suspicions. But the betrayal hit different after all the years she'd stood by him, defended him publicly, and tried to keep their family image intact. Now, the same people who used to whisper behind her back had proof. And Leticia was done covering for him. Then, things got even more dramatic. Melody Holt, Marsau's longtime rival on the show, got wind of the situation. She didn't mention names, but she posted a shady meme on Instagram that read, "Some people will gaslight you until they run out of lies." Fans instantly knew who she meant. The post went viral. Leticia got tagged 1,000 times. People called it karma in real time. Behind the scenes, production started panicking. Leticia had apparently shared the video with someone close to the OWN network. Whether by accident or just to vent, the clip was now making the rounds. Some producers wanted to air it. Others feared legal trouble. Marsau hadn't agreed to be filmed. If he pushed back, there could be lawsuits, contract issues, even delays in the show's schedule. According to insiders, Marsau was already speaking with lawyers. He'd even hired a crisis PR team to spin the narrative. The story they were building? That Leticia was unstable. That she set him up. That she was obsessed with proving something and went too far. But fans weren't buying it. Leticia had the facts. She had the proof. Marsau had excuses. Now the producers were stuck. Do they show the footage and face legal heat, or bury it and risk fan outrage? Either way, things had changed forever. Cast members were picking sides. Tensions on set were rising. Marsau, once the smooth-talking businessman of the show, was no longer untouchable. And Leticia? She was quiet but not weak. No Instagram rants, no interviews, no public breakdowns. She was focused. Calm. One insider said it best. She's not falling apart. She's calculating. Leticia wasn't trying to get attention. She wasn't making noise. She was meeting with attorneys, quietly going over every document, every shared property, every account they had together. She hadn't filed for divorce yet, but she was preparing. This wasn't about heartbreak. It was about control. Meanwhile, Marsau was doing damage control. He was seen alone at their cigar lounge, pacing, checking his phone. One fan who saw him said he looked like a man waiting for a storm to hit. Rumors say he's trying to land a TV appearance, maybe Tamron Hall, maybe the Breakfast Club, somewhere he can tell his side. The plan? Claim the video was taken out of context. Say Leticia manipulated the situation. Try to twist the story before it swallows him whole. But people aren't falling for it. Hashtags like Team Leticia and Caught Red-Handed are all over TikTok and Twitter. Fans are re-watching old episodes, noticing new things in his behavior. Every smirk, every excuse, it all feels different now. Leticia isn't doing this for fame. According to a close friend, she just wants peace. She gave her all to the marriage, and now she's reclaiming her dignity. She believes loyalty means nothing if it isn't returned. Whether she leaves him or not, one thing is certain. Leticia isn't the same woman anymore. Reviewing every business deal. Protecting what she helped build. She hasn't filed for divorce yet, but the groundwork is there. And that's the part that's hitting Marsau the hardest. He can't predict her next move anymore. He's no longer one step ahead. And Leticia? She's not rushing. She's not reacting. She's planning. See, this isn't about just catching a cheating husband. It's about a woman finally choosing herself. It's about saying, I deserve better, and actually doing something about it. Whether she decides to leave him or stay on her own terms, one thing is clear, Leticia will never be the silent wife again. She's already flipped the script. So, for all the women watching this who've ever been lied to, gaslit, or made to feel crazy for following their intuition, Leticia's story is your reminder. Your peace is worth fighting for. Your truth matters. And when the time comes, don't be afraid to move in silence, gather your facts, and protect your heart with the same energy you use to protect someone else's. Because sometimes, silence isn't weakness. It's power. Leticia didn't lose in this situation, she leveled up. And no matter what Marsau tries to spin, she's the one holding the truth, the proof, and most importantly, the power. If you made it to the end of this video, drop in the comments for Leticia. Let me know, do you think she should walk away for good or flip the game and rebuild on her own terms? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned. Because if there's one thing we know about love and marriage Huntsville, it's that the drama never sleeps. See y'all in the next one.